What's going on, guys? Chuck here. Today, I want to take some time to talk about something that I consider to be a bit of a lost art form when it comes to advertisement for movies, even though it's become extremely popular today. And that is, of course, the movie trailer. Um, Trailers are probably the number one way of marketing a film, at least to get the marketing started, if you will. Especially now, everybody's looking for a trailer. Everyone's waiting for the trailer to drop. It's all over social media. You can't go anywhere. Their studios are buying ad time on major sporting events or any kind of television event to put the trailer on there. It's huge. Everybody's looking for the trailer, so it's big now. However, I do feel that the trailer as an art form, which at one point I really think it was, is kind of lost its steam, if you will. To me, the trailers now are, well, they're exciting. You all look forward to them. It's just, a lot of them are cookie cutter. They're pretty much very paint by numbers, if you will. And that's not how it always used to be. Trailers have been around. I think the first documented trailer was shown in 1913, 1914. So, this is a little short blurs in front of the films. I don't think they really gained popularity probably until maybe the 50s or so. But even then, a lot of those prior to them were just cut and paste jobs at certain companies. Somewhere in the 50s and 60s, some studios or directors were able to get people to cut particular trailers together. And during a time of the 60s through I'd say maybe early 90s, at that point, the trailer was something special. It's, like I said, you look at those trailers, they're like an art form. Trailers are amazing, pieces of art. Like I've said, they're a great time capsule, especially how trailers were done and how sensibilities, how things were marketed at a certain point as compared to now. A lot of trailers from the 60s or so. Let's go back to like trailers from the 50s. And I always think examples I think of these 50s B-movie monsters, which are made to show in drive-ins. They're very, big bold letters, see this giant monster attack, tremble and fear, those kind of things, big bombastic announcers showing these, quick clips of stuff. And that's pretty much how a lot of those trailers went. Again, going into the 60s, you get a lot of these more drawn out, you still have, the big brighting, especially a lot of British trailers from what I've discovered. British and Italian trailers. Italian trailers are very, very artistic. They're really hard to understand sometimes, but they're very artistic. Usually talking about a splash of color, some kind of crazy music, especially in the 60s, and a lot of weird visual effects thrown in to kind of just, really put you in a sense of what is going on, which is a lot of cases, for a lot of those Italian films at that time. But, they really drew you in. A lot of times they're, piecing together a kind of a story to tell you without giving away too much, which a lot of people claim is a problem with trailers now. They give away too much, they're giving you everything, which, that's what a trailer's supposed to do is, give you all the good bits, if you will, to entice you to make you want to come see the film. Not necessarily give you the whole film, but sometimes, it's good to leave a little mystery. And a lot of these trailers, in that time, did, especially with some of these, like I said, these 60s, 70s horror films, or suspense films, trailers, they give you a little bit and, ask you questions and, why was so-and-so doing this? What did this mean? All these different things. And it would make you wonder, okay, what is the plot? What's going on? I'm really excited about that. Make you want to go check it out. And then you get into like the 70s and 80s and things just basically, it becomes, especially a lot of action, oriented trailers are really interesting, and they give these. You always get the loud, these big bombastic voices that were really big in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. Especially, one of my favorites is Percy Rodriguez. If you don't know who Percy Rodriguez is, trust me, you've heard his voice. He is one of the two most prolific trailer voice narrators ever. The other one, I think his name is Don Fontaine. I could be wrong on that. But he is a guy that you're known for. In a world
Paula Sala is a real Geico customer, not an actor. So to help tell her story, we hired that announcer guy from the movies.
When the storm hit, both our cars were totally underwater.
In a world where both of our cars were totally underwater.
That guy there is parodied, but, Percy Rodriguez has this really great, calm, almost James Earl Jones type voice. One of the best examples I can think of, if you go back and you find the original trailer for Jaws, 1975, he is a narrator in that trailer, and it's amazing. He's got one of the great lines in that trailer. It's as if God created the devil and gave him Jaws. It's a cheesy line, but coming out with in his voice, it's amazing. And
it is as if God created the devil and gave him Jaws.
He's also, if you don't know, the voice of the little green orb in the Heavy Metal movie. So he's got a very prolific voice. Again, if you don't know Percy Rodriguez, you know that voice. You've heard it in so many voiceovers. But those were really big during, the 70s and 80s. And somewhere along the way into the 90s, that narration kind of went away. I mean, there's some, every now and especially for like cutesy comedies and make those narration, but they're not there. I mean, most of the time now, they're really a lot of flash cut scenes here, throwing in, music, some popular song with a different remake of the song thrown in over these different images to make you feel something and just make you just go, what is all that about? Which, again, I guess is kind of the point. That's kind of the mentality of people. That the attention span is not what it once was. Everybody's on the social media. Everybody's just the instant gratification. You want this. Now you got to put a lot into some of these trailers. And that's a lot of what you get now with these, summer blockbusters. I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, now it's so big, you've got a teaser releasing on social media for a teaser trailer. So on social media, you've got like a 10, 15 second teaser posted to saying, oh, new trailer drops tomorrow at, noon. So you had a teaser for a teaser. That's crazy. But it gets to views it, and people look for it, and they look at majority of a lot of videos on YouTube. People are reacting to trailers, watching trailers, and it has real live reactions. I mean, it's doing what it wants. But again, the trailers, to me, they're very cookie cutter. They're pretty much the same, and they're not. I don't know. They don't isn't. Well, they're good. You hide it for movies still. For some reason, they don't seem like as very artistic or trying to be. Not saying that every trailer from that time period was artistic. Some of them are just, a lot of these. The trailers that are most popular you think about are, again, a lot of exploitation trailers. That's what's really popular in the 70s, 80s, and, just whatever. And a lot of those were, as good old JR would say, a lot of sizzle and no steak. But that's the point, you're trying to get you to come into the theater and drop your, $5 down, your $40 now, whatever it is to come in and see this movie. But it's, again, there's something about those trailers. They were just, they're more, it's so enjoyable. And again, this could just be, old man speaking here, back in my day, kind of thing. But I really feel it's lost art form, much like poster art. There was a time when, poster art was amazing. A lot of it was, hand-drawn or painted images all throughout, for a good long time. And, again, somewhere in the, I'd say, mid-90s or so, that really changed it. It might have been around the time of Scream, when Scream became popular, the faces on that poster. After that, everything started to have, cut and paste, Photoshop images of people, pretty people on a poster. That was that's your poster. And we've gotten a lot of that. Everything's basically a bunch of floating heads on your poster or whatever, in an image, and it's not as evocative as something that was hand painted or drawn. So many, a lot of the posters I have here, especially, the exploitation film posters, are beautifully drawn. We look at, the Nightmare on Elm Street posters, for example, some of the best poster artwork around. I'll always love the Star Trek posters. I thought they're beautiful artwork. You get the point about me rambling on about posters. But same thing, it was an art form that's kind of lost now to simplicity. And same thing, I think, goes with trailers. But trailers, to me, have always been fun to watch. I go back to a time, back to, I talked about before, these comic conventions and find these were oddities on tape, and I would find, 50s and 60s trailers on VHS tape of these old drive-in classics or whatever. I find them fascinating. Again, it's a nice little snapshot into an bygone era, if you will, of how movies are marketed and what who they were playing to, and that's really cool to watch. And and you go in later, some of the movies you grew up with in the 70s, 80s, how were they marketed? What are those trailers like? You kind of put yourself in the mindset of a person from that era, seeing that trailer first time. What was it like to go check it out? And then what's also nice about some of these trailers, especially going back to talking the exploitation type trailers, a lot of those films no one's ever going to see. They're probably lost, but we have these trailers, and you can imagine there's some kind of history of that film. Maybe you find it. Maybe it entices you to go out and find some kind of way of watching that movie, which is great. It keeps that alive. And I'm always for keeping film alive in any which way possible, however it does it for you. But I was always enjoyed that. There used to be a show on the old Sci-Fi channel, not the Sci-Fi, but actual Sci-Fi channel called Trailer Park. Who was it? I can't remember his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. He used to be hosted by Al Franken's partner. He used to be on SNL. I can't remember his name right now. He's passed away. I'll put it right here somewhere. But he used to host Trailer Park on a Sci-Fi channel. It was half an hour of just trailers from whether it be classic 60 movies or even more recent 80 movies. You have a theme, whatever the case, and you run them. And then there was a show on E. I can't remember what it was called though, but they used to them all the new trailers there were at the time. So I'd watch that, see a good way to see what was coming out. And I've always had a fascination with trailers, and of course now the big thing too is trailer compilations, which brings me to my point some long time after the point after the fact. I have a bunch of Blu-ray DVD trailer compilations of various trailers. A lot of these will cross over because there's so many trailers that they get and you put together. But out of all these compilations, there are 3 series of trailer compilations that I really enjoy. I thought I'd share them with you here if you're into that kind of thing. Without any further ado, because I've had plenty, or let's get jumped into them. The very first one that I really picked up on, and this was released from the series released from Synapse Films, and it was the 42nd Street Forever compilation. And this is basically, it's what it said, the 42nd Street. It's nothing but exploitation trailers, and it's about a good 2 hours of trailers, I think. But it's really, there's some really good gems in here that I, came across and just were like, oh wow. You even got like, let's see, the Italian Stallion, the Sylvester Stallone porno he did. Wicked, which is, infamously known for being shot in duoscope. Look that one up. The Green Slime, a classic. The Pink Angels, another one. They Call Her One Eye, also known as Thriller, A Cruel Picture. That's on here. So a lot of great exploitation films, and some of these, the first time I'd ever heard of them, were on here. And so this is really nice set. Because this was Synapse Films. I don't know if this is available. I got this years ago. And this is strictly a DVD. But yeah, this straight DVD. And this was a full series. So after this came 42nd Street Forever, Volume 2, The Deuce. And I like this because, got this 45 right there. You can see that. That's pretty cool. Volume 2, The Deuce, Sex, Monsters, Madmen, and Machines, another dose of classic coming attractions. What else we got in here? A poster for the Pom Pom Girls. Oh, and you got Billy Jack up here. So, yeah, here's the back of that. And I don't know, let's see, this is 120 minutes. It doesn't say how many are on here. But you've got stuff on this one, like The Born Losers, of course, Billy Jack. Black Samson. Deadly Blessing, Delinquent Schoolgirls. Drag Strip Riot. the giant Gila monster. So we're going, older, not just 70s, whatever. The giant, or see the guy from Harlem, the Hellcats. Let's see, Kiss the Girls and Make Them Die. That's a great title. Wild Rebel. So it's a lot on here. After that, you had 42nd Street Forever Volume 3, Exploitation Explosion. And this was pretty much what it says, exploitation films. And this one was the first one to come with special features. Take a look at the back of this here. And on here, you had audio commentary over the whole track, which is interesting, audio commentary over trailers, because they're only like a minute or two minutes long, trying to get as much as you can on that and just keep going as these, about 2 hours of the trailers. 101 minutes, a little over 90, or an hour and a half. But you've got on the One-Armed Executioner, Jaguar Lives, Enter the Ninja, Demonoid, Devil Times 5, Summer School, Teachers, The Happy Heroes of Hollywood, Alligator. So there's some good stuff on here, just to name a few. After that, you had Volume 4, which was Cooled by Refrigeration, Dusk Till Dawn trailer show. And you obviously see some of the images on there, what's on here. And here's the back. And so this one runs 105 minutes. So get a little over an hour and a half. You got A Game Without Warning, You're the Hunter from the Future, Schizoid, New Year's Evil, Mortuary, The Boogeyman, Legend of Boggy Creek, Rituals, Can I Do It Till I Need Glasses? So, Shout the Devil. A lot of good stuff on here. Coach, Kathy Lee Crossing movie. After that was Volume 5, and this was the kind of the last volume they put out. And this was the Alamo Drafthouse 7. These are films or trailers that got from the Alamo Drafthouse and the famed Alamo Drafthouse Theater. These are their own private collection. So they put these on here. This was like 99 minutes. So again, just a little over an hour and a half long. And on here you had audio commentary with the owners of the Alamo going over the film, and then a little 30-minute documentary, Remember the Alamo, talking about the Alamo Drafthouse, which is pretty cool. So on here you've got stuff like Life of a Ninja, Mad Monkey Kung Fu, Wonder Women, Birds Do It, Bees Do It, Let's Do It, there's a lot of doing it, Chatterbox, Violated, Message from Space, International Secret Police, and Pinocchio's Birthday Party. That's, sounds interesting. And I mentioned this one too has audio commentary. So yeah. And that was the last of the DVD releases. How then they did put out a 42nd Street Forever Blu-ray. Now this is basically kind of a best of all those editions combined into one. And this is audio commentary also. And this one ran, let's see, 275 minutes. So I don't know if it tells, I don't see it says how many is on here. Oh, 80 plus trailers, it's over 3 hours. So again, this is kind of a best of all those editions. So if you've got all of these, it's going to be on here. These are just cleaned up, remastered on Blu-ray. Now, the last thing they did put out at 42nd Street Forever, which I thought was kind of cool, was their Triple Extreme Special Edition. Make sure that's not, yeah, and these are all porn trailers. Because, yes, even porn had trailers too. Let's see, make sure the back's, yeah, so there you go. All these classic adult films. 130 minutes. And I don't see if it says how many trailers are on here. Oh, but it's quite a few. So we've got All American Girls, Aroused, Beverly Hills Cops, Blonde Ambition, Debbie Does Dallas 3, Devil and Miss Jones 3 and 4. Let's see. There's a couple of Matinee Idol's a big one. But, you get the point. These are all hardcore adult trailers. So that's kind of a neat thing because, it's nice to have those too. So that was the first, series I went through, which are really good. Now, and those, like I said, are primarily all DVD. After that, I discovered Trailer Trauma. This was from Garage House Pictures, and this is the first volume. And this cover art is just killer. And let's see. This 137 minutes, and you've got all kinds of. And this is region free again. Here it is, region free. And I don't know if these are available anymore either. These were going out of print, but you've got a long list of films in there. I think over 65 trailers on here. And you can kind of look at the list there. But this is a really nice set. As she noted, the same thing with the 42nd Street, that these are all remastered. They're all anamorphic widescreen. So they look beautiful. Well, as good as it can. They're not like, pristine, but a lot look really clean and good. After that was Trailer Trauma 2, Drive-In Monsterama. And, these little creatures, they remind me of the scrubbing bubbles. If you know those commercials, I can't think what that is, but it's like used to be able to clean the commercial would clean the grout from the bathroom and the little scrubbing bubbles. But these remind me of them, but like mutated. So there's the back end of that. Special features on here. Let's see. These are digitally remastered in 4K from various 35 millimeter prints. So this again, good quality. All trailers presented in their original aspect ratios, and you have some optional commentary also. And here you've got. So this ups the ante with 96 trailers. That's a pretty good long runtime, and some good stuff here. Now, my absolute favorite one. Absolute favorite. And this is a big one. This is from them. And I actually talked about this in my very, very first video way back when. And it is Trailer Trauma 3 80s Horror-thon. This is about 7 hours long. And it is almost every horror trailer or horror adjacent trailer from the 1980s. It's broken down from 1980 to 1989. It doesn't have a stop. It just plays continuously over 2 discs. But, it does like, and now I think alphabetical order of like from 80 on through, then 81 it's like A to whatever, then 82, so on and so forth. But this is a fantastic trailer. And it's got commentary, trailer compilation. And it's got commentary all throughout the 7 hours. And what's interesting is you have different people for every year. So you have someone who's doing commentary for 1980, then they'll cut off and someone come and do commentary for 1981, and so on and so forth through the whole decade. And I'm going to pull out this, because you've got the 2 discs in here. And let's see. But see, here's the breakdown. You see all the trailers marked down by year. I don't think we have a number. Oh, yeah, we do. 190 trailers. 190 trailers. Starting with Alligator in 1980, ending with Warlock from 1989. This is a great set. And I mentioned it again in my very first video, that if you have the In Search of Darkness trilogy, this is like the perfect companion piece to that, because much how In Search of Darkness, they break down movies year by year. This is along the same lines. Like I said, in 1980, they're doing trailers from 1980, and again, it's almost like there are trailers. I think there's even trailers here that they don't mention on, In Search of Darkness for films, but I think almost every film mentioned in Search of Darkness, almost, not probably all of them, are on here. So this is like my absolute favorite, and a lot of these, when I host movie nights, I usually have people come over like 2 hours prior to our showtime, and I will throw on one of these compilations and, watch for 2 hours. People come in and just, mingle, get our food together, whatever. And it's a blast. People will sit and they'll laugh and talk about them. Somebody, oh God, I forgot about that movie. That's just great. So these are a lot of fun. These are great for parties to put in the background and just, enjoy. Next Trailer Trauma, they put up part 4, which is a little bit different. This is Television Trauma. And these were all TV trailers. So, these were, again, all television ads, they're trailers, but cut down and shown on TV. So they're a little different. Here's the back, here. And this one, again, another big bundle. I don't have a numbering lists in the back. Let's see. 268 of the best and rarest TV spots for horror films. So you can take a look at the list there. There's a giant list. And again, these are not theatrical trailers, but television trailers, which you still get TV ads and I guess truncated TV trailers for films, but I think it's a little bit different during the 70s and 80s. And a lot of times, too, they're really quick, like, 10-second spots. So, again, it's a different experience than the rest of them. It's probably not my favorite, but it's an interesting look at, a different form of advertising that was used. The last set in this series, which it came out a couple years ago. Now, I heard that Garage House had like one more they're going to put out, but they've gone kind of quiet, so I'm not sure. But to date, the last one they put out was Trailer Trauma 5, 70s Action Attack. And again, as it says, it's basically like a 70s action trailer. It's not one of my favorites, but it's still pretty good. Let's see. And you've got audio commentaries on here. This is 283 minutes. Let's see. I don't see how many over 3 hours, but I don't see how many trailers are on here. Oh, here we go. It's, if I can get the slip out. So you've got 81 trailers. So it's kind of like, it's definitely a downturn from what they've had before. But again, you've run so many, you start running out. I do like this disc because it looks like it's a reel of film, the short reel, like it would be a trailer. So that's pretty neat. So that was Garage House Films Trailer Trauma Collection, which is, again, hold on, go backwards somehow, some way. We get these all sorted out. There's 3, which is a fun series. I believe they're out of print. You might be able to find some of them somewhere. I know, I said Garage House had posted, on Facebook, this is a couple years back, that some of these were running low. They're getting rid of them. And they posted about 2 or 3 years ago they were going to release one more Trailer Trauma, but haven't heard anything from them since. And they've kind of gone silent. So I'm not sure what Trailer Trauma's at. Also, let me apologize if my voice is getting a little raspy. I am trying to get over a cold. And I can see this is the most talking I've done in a while. And I can kind of hear it's getting a little froggy, so I do apologize. Now, the last series we'll talk about, and this is, I think, the best of this series, and this comes from Umbrella Entertainment, and that is the Drive-In Delirium series. And this consists of 6 volumes. I think they actually had, like, before this, there was a compilation set. I'm not sure the DVD sets, but as far as Blu-ray goes, you have this here. First one is Drive-In Delirium, 60s and 70s Savagery, over 140 demented trailers, uncut, uncensored, and remastered in high definition. This is a great set. And I also love about what Drive-In Delirium does is they divide their discs. For instance, with this one, it's also really cool because it's very nostalgic. It opens up like you're going to a drive-in. They show like a drive-in screen, but before they'll show commercials like from that era. Some really rare, off-the-wall commercials, some TV spots, and I think a couple of them are Australian because these are Umbrella being an Australian company. And then they'll go into like drive-in concession commercials. Then of course you'll go to the countdown. And they'll start the show, and then you run through your whole first half. Like in this case, the first half or part 1 was the 60s. And then you have an intermission. They do this kind of thing. There's still commercials, intermission, whatever, countdown. Then you get to the second half, which is the case with the 70s. And it's not all horror films. Majority of these are, a lot of, especially 60s, a lot of the British, Hammer stuff. And, in the 70s, you've got a kind of more suspense. But one of the last trailers on here is started motion picture. So, it's not all horror. Let's see, there's the back, but it show that to you. But this is a really nice set. These all look beautiful. Again, this is region free. It's from Umbrella. And again, you like just similar to the trailer film, or you've got the film can, like a small can of, from the trailer. And there's all your trailers on there, if you can see that. But yeah, you've got like Star Crash on here, Sinbad, Eye of the Tiger, Schlock, Future World, Black Caesar, Slaughter, Scream, Blackula, Scream. Let's see, the big Gun Down, Guns of the Magnificent Seven. So it's a wide variety. You've got a horror, but you've got pretty much anything that you get your hands on from 60s or 70s. So it's a nice spread, if you will. Next up in that series was the Maximum 80s Overdrive. And this is all 80s trailers. And actually, I've been rewatching this one. And this is another great one. This is a great one to put at parties. The first half is all action. I think it's called The Crackdown. And then the second half is like slasher films and horror films. Here's the back there. And let's see, this says 116 theatrical trailers remastered in high definition, including 40 new titles exclusive to this volume. And they also on here, special features, they have a poster gallery. You can run through, we play it, and basically show the posters for the films. Not all the posters for some reason, but most of them. So yeah, this has got, again, a lot of good stuff. So yeah, part 1 is a Crackdown, part 2 is Stalk and Slash. And of course you've got, let's see, Shogun Assassin, Raw Force, Chained Heat. Vinegar Syndrome, need to get that one. Excuse me. To Live and Die in L.A. Used Cars with Kurt Russell. Wacko, Up the Creek, Dress to Kill, Road Games, Escape from the Bronx, The New Barbarians, Dead End Drive-In, Gnaw, Fruit of the Gods 2, Cannibal Holocaust is on here. You've got Maniac, of course, the first 3 Friday the 13th. Let's see, Christmas Evil, Don't Answer the Phone, Don't Go in the Woods, My Bloody Valentine, Halloween 2, Nightmare, obviously Creepshow 2. A lot of these, slasher films from that era. So this is another really good set. And again, these all look beautiful. Very, very. I've been rewatching these first 2 parts on the projector screen, blown up. Oh my god, and they look so good. They just look so good. The next volume was Drive-In Delirium, The New Batch. A little bit of Bronson for you. 175 mind-blowing trailers, uncensored and remastered in high definition. So there you go. And again, what I love about this series is they're basically just grabbing, they have kind of a theme, but they still just grab anything and throw it in there. Let's see what we got on here. The first part is called The Quickening. And you've got Creeping Unknown, Angry Red Planet, Green Slime, Our Man Flint, When Dinosaurs Rule the Earth, 10 to Midnight, Night Moves, Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, so on and so forth. Caligula. Part 2, you've got The Spawning. And then you've got Terror Over Terror in the Isles, Blood Mania, Don't Look in the Basement, The Entity, Ape, Orca, just cat people. So you see, they're all over the place. There's not like, any kind of specific. I mean, they give you sometimes, like I said, The Quickening and The Spawn. They're all over. It's a nice eclectic mix of trailers, which I think is really cool. It's very nice. Yeah. And you've got, 175 trailers on this set. And these things, they go on. And I think also, yes, on top of that 175 trailers, here you've got a bonus called VHS Delirium, which is 95 more minutes of standard definition VHS trailers. So trailers that showed on VHS, obviously. So that's a really cool feature. Think about that. 175 theatrical trailers, and then you throw in 90 or 95 minutes of standard trailers that were shown on VHS. That's pretty cool. That's a lot of bang for your buck. Next up was Dead by Dawn, 167 horror and TNA trailers. So this one's gonna be fun. And back obviously you got King Kong, Evil Dead. Great. And this one also includes Bride of Delirium. So on top of your 167 theatrical trailers, you're getting a bonus 96 minutes of standard definition VHS trailers again. So you're getting all kinds of good stuff. What we've got on here, It Came From Beneath the Sea, The Monster That Challenged the World, The Black Scorpion, Something in the Dark, Jaws 2, Virgin Witch, Dracula AD. I'm just jumping around trying to find, whatever I can read, honestly. Beyond the Door. But, all kinds of stuff down here. This is just a great, great set. I love the artwork for these things. These are great, matches of the films that are on here. This Drive Delirium is a fantastic series from Umbrella. Next up was With a Vengeance, which is 157 action and sci-fi trailers. And so you got, Pam Grier and Supergirl and Clint Eastwood on here. Blues Brothers. In the back. Got Linda Blair, Superfly, Gator. So you've got 157 trailers in this one, and then you have Son of Delirium, or VHS Delirium, excuse me. Again, another 90 minutes of standard definition trailers. And again, these VHS trailers, they're all different in each set. So they've got, and again, none of these, in these sets, these trailers aren't repeating. These are different trailers on each set. It's not like, this trailer's on this, that. No, these are all different, which is amazing. That's a lot of trailers they've gone through. You think about all the hours they go through to get these. So, let's see, actually, I do apologize again for the voice. Here's your, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know where you have the Last Starfighter on there. Part 1 called Cruise Control. Part 2, The Year We Make Contact. But yeah, it starts off like some 70s blaxploitation film like Shaft, Superfly, Hammer, Hell Up in Harlem. You've got, let's see, The Colossus of Rhodes, Return of the Seven, Once Upon a Time in the West, Leviathan, all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's so much on here. I just can't go through them all, but yeah, they're all there. These are just this is 5 discs with so much content on here. It's an embarrassment of riches, is what it is. Especially if you're a person who loves trailers. And last in this set, it is Drive Delirium, The Final Conflict, with 181 trailers remastered and uncensored in high definition. This is fantastic. Again, I know I'm just going this. I don't know. I can't think of the words right now. These are just amazing. So 181 theatrical trailers, and then last you have The Curse of VHS Delirium, and this time you've got 2 hours. Every other one's been like 90 minutes. You have 2 hours of these standard definition VHS trailers. So they're going out with a bang on this last one. And again, this was it. This is The Final Conflict. This is the last set they put out. Which makes sense. That 6 volumes, I mean, you're out of trailers at that point, I think. At least classic ones, I mean. So, there you go. And you start off with Queen of Outer Space, and you end up with Fairy Tales from 78, but you got Felicity, which is the film I talked about here. Monty Python's Life of Brian. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. Favorite Steve Martin film. Skate Town, USA. Movie I just recently watched and enjoyed the other day. Let's see. The Thomas Crown Affair from 1968. Lone Wolf McQuade. Satan's Slave. The Seduction, which is a really good one. Death in the Nile. And if you look at this, obviously you've got some James Bond here too. We have like A View to a Kill, I believe. So yeah, and up here you got Smokey the Bandit, another favorite, and obviously Conan the Barbarian's on here. What else? It's like Meatballs from the back here. Taking a closer look at that. So yeah, this is by far, I think, the best series of trailer compilations that are out there. I don't know if you can get much better than what the Driving Delirium has done. Now, again, I don't believe. I think most, at least these early ones are out of print. You might be able to get maybe his last couple ones, or you possibly find them on Amazon somewhere. But I think the first ones are out of print. They did release recently the anthologies. I think all of these in one big giant set, because I think the individual ones have been discontinued or out of print. But I didn't see, because initially I thought it was like, wow, it's a whole other thing. But it's the same, these sets all combined into one. I don't know if that's still available or not, but I remember it was at one point. So, I mean, if you can get it, if you don't have any of these, that's your Joy trailers, I definitely recommend getting if nothing else, get these. A lot of these are on these other sets, but these are probably the best trailer compilations you're going to get. Again, Drive-In Delirium from Umbrella Entertainment. This whole series is fantastic. I mean, there's the trailers on here just run from all over, from 60s to the 80s. You know, they're not stuck. It's not. They're horror, comedy, or TNA. They're slasher. They're thriller. They're whatever. They're just whatever they get a trailer, they got it. They put it on here, and it's great. Very, very fun. Okay, so after running through all that, sharing that with you, and my voice about to lose it, I'm going to cut it right there. But I hope you enjoyed this little run through some of my favorite trailer compilations. Like, I have more, but these are the best ones I have. I have trailer compilations are a dime a dozen. There's so many out there you can get on DVD for different variations, but I think these three series are the best that are out there. And again, the Driving Delirium is by far the best, in my humble opinion. So if you can get your hands on these, if you like trailers, definitely check it out. They're a great snapshot into marketing for a film at a certain time, looking at how things were promoted and for who they're promoted for, and it's just a very interesting thing. And again, a lot of these trailers are like an art form. It's really fun to watch. That's why why they've lasted so long, and why they're people want to see these shows. And I always love trailers. Like when DVD first came out, and I was loving that, you get these trailers for these films because you always want to see that. To me, that was like if a DVD had no other features, I'd always say it should have at least two things. It should be anamorphic widescreen, always, and it should contain a trailer, nothing else. It's got to have those two things. Should almost be like they have to have that. Nothing else, anamorphic widescreen and a trailer for their film at least. If you get old trailers, even better. Because, again, it's just the top way of marketing. It still works today. Maybe not be the art form it once was, but, who knows? Maybe, 20, 30 years from now, we'll be looking at these trailers and remember, oh my God, you remember how awesome the trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming was. And not that these trailers aren't good, but I just don't think they're, again, quite as fun, or just something as those trailers from that bygone era was. And again, this could be the old man in me, get off my lawn kind of thing. I don't know. Anywho, if you enjoyed this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe, email a comment below. Let me know if you've got any of these trailer compilations. If you enjoy trailers, what's some of your favorites, or just say hi. I will always take hi. So until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side.